I just met Sume, whose hand weaves the Karenni outfits that we were looking at in the streets here, and asked her through a translator a little bit about her life and her story, and why her and her family are living here and what they experienced in Burma. Obviously, I had to be quite tactful about asking her about the situation in Burma that caused her to come here, because you could tell it's quite a painful story to recount. But essentially, she said that she was living in a village of 70 houses, and the Burmese military came in and burnt down their houses, and they had to flee. They took a provision of food with them that lasted them for 2 or 3 months in the jungle, and then they'd heard word that if they came to Thailand that they would be safer. They came into Thailand and were led to this refugee camp, which is where she's been living ever since. That was 14 years ago, and obviously has had 3 children since. And the house she lives in now is one of the projects that TBBC runs for shelter. As part of present aid, I think it costs £230 to provide the material, which is bamboo, to build one of these shelters. The refugees are not allowed to cut down any of the trees on and around the camp, because it's owned by Thailand. So it's important that these materials are brought into the camps, and then they themselves build them. So she said that her family and her brothers helped to build this shelter, and every few years they fix it up. It's hard to really kind of get to grips with that story in a way, because it's impossibly difficult to imagine having your house burned down and what that experience must be like, I mean, she said it was too painful for her to talk about it, and that she just wants to let go of the past and move on with the future, and hopes that her children will have a good education.